Hello everyone and welcome to 4 Kilobyte Shorts, the Let's Play of System Shock 2. Just a couple of things. This is the original System Shock 2. In System Shock 1 I was playing a modded version called Portable Edition. Super hardcore modded, a lot more difficult, a lot more fun actually, and I absolutely say people should go check it out. This is the original System Shock 2, however, there are some differences. It has been patched to work in newer versions of Windows on newer hardware, so it is actually in 1080p. That may cause some visual glitches. I did a test earlier, and there are some, some textures that weren't fully formed. Some objects weren't retextured properly. They had bad lighting, stuff like that. So there will be some issues with that, but I think that it's worth it with the fact that the videos run perfectly and that the game looks much better. So there are some visual glitches, one of which is when walking things get a little jittery, usually near the bottom and top of the screen, and that's just a visual thing, and I'll try to ignore it and hopefully you'll try to ignore it, but everything's set up, everything's good to go. So without wasting too much time, we're going to jump right into System Shock 2 here, and the story will unfold as we watch the intro video, so I will let you guys watch that, and then we'll get to getting. And so we have our choices here. Unfortunately, not as good as System Shock 1. If you remember System Shock 1, you could like program the AI and everything, and this one went back to the classic easy, normal, hard, impossible. Not as great, I think. It kind of lost a little bit of its flavor when that was changed. But we'll go normal, because normal is normal. We want to play the game. We want to experience the game. We don't want to experience me dying all the time. So we'll go normal. So let's go ahead and start game.
Look at you, hacker. A pathetic creature of meat and bone, panting and sweating as you run through my corridors. How can you challenge a perfect, immortal machine?
In 2072, a rogue artificial intelligence known as Shodan lost her mind. In her limitless imagination, Shodan saw herself as a goddess, destined to inherit the earth. That image was snuffed out by the hacker who created her.
You're welcome. 42 years later is nice. It's a nice round number. I kind of like that 42 years later number. Military, science, and consumer. So now you know what Trioptimum stands for, after 42 years.
February 3rd is the day the magic happens. The Von Braun, the first starship in history capable of traveling at faster than light speed, will undertake her maiden voyage. This incredible journey is the result of teamwork between the UNN Protectorate and the incredible scientific minds at the newly relicensed Trioptimum Corporation. Imagine being able to travel to distant star systems in a period of weeks. It's all part of Triop's commitment to the future. The Von Braun is packed with over 1.8 billion flight, scientific, and security systems, nearly all developed by Trioptimum and its wholly owned subsidiaries. Providing security for the Von Braun as she plows through the heavens will be the UNN Rickenbacker. At her helm will be no less than Captain William Bedford Diego himself, hero of the Battle of Boston Harbor during the Eastern States Police action.
Diego again, yay.
Government incorporation is made possible by an intricate series of docking mechanisms that will allow the Rickenbacker to piggyback its way into jump space. Sleek, fast, revolutionary. Who knows what wonders await our crews in the bosom of the cosmos? All we do know is that it's a great day for mankind.
As a UNN Von Braun, we've been hijacked by an unknown force. Ship security has been compromised. Do not allow the ship... Repeat, do not allow the ship to leave under any circumstances. I don't know what we're up against here.
So there's our rub, there's our moment. It looks like things went wrong. So here we are in the tram station.
Welcome to the Ramsey Center UNN Recruitment
So this is
Facility.
4 years
Please
earlier
watch
at
your
Ramsey's
step when leaving
Recruitment
the
Center.
train. The grav shafts at the end of the hall will take you to the street-level training and recruitment center.
Now,
Please step into the grav shafts to
Okay.
proceed to the street-level recruitment.
I'm probably going to cut this guy off a couple of times because he talks with activations Hey, look, Trioptimum logo. Wonderful. Yeah, he's activated by points on the map, and I may walk through different points. Not much to explore here on Earth. I mean, there's an alley, there's a truck, there's some phone booths. I think there's like a room here with people in it. You may notice some of these models look suspiciously like models from the original Thief and Thief 2. They absolutely are. Same makers, Looking Glass Studios. Same people who made the original System Shock. Shortly after this game was released, however, and I say shortly because it could have been months, Looking Glass went out of business.
You'll want to learn some basic abilities. First, you should go into the Basic Training Center. When you're done with basic training, proceed to the Advanced Training area.
Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to go through basic training just so we can.
To pick up, welcome trainee. While you're in our virtual training courses, we provide you with a simulated cyber interface. This training interface is identical to an actual military-grade cyber interface. Now, let's try it out. Move the mouse. See how it changes where you look? That means you're in shoot mode. Hit the tab key. This puts you in use mode, where you can use your mouse to interact with items in the world. Open your primary MFD, or multifunction display,
That's
by
not it.
clicking on the MFD button near the bottom of the screen.
This will make
display
sense
shows
later.
your strengths in various areas. When you're ready to continue, press the tab key to go back to shoot mode.
Now this is a little...
Try changing between modes until you get the hang of it.
When you're done.
Follow the red path along the ground to the next training station.
Yeah, so this is supposed to be cyberspace in System Shock 2. Apart from this, and I think one other part of the game, you will never see cyberspace, so we don't have to worry about cyberspace jacks. I did activate the HUD overhead, the degrees, the north, south, east, west. That is not a mod. You do not find mods for your jack. Your jack is this. This is what they consider a cyberspace jack. It's basically your heads-up display, which is why you don't have it when you're not in here. So we'll just go through the tutorial.
Center them on your screen and right-click. This will automatically place that item into your inventory.
Now you have things like
View
a
your
bag of
inventory,
chips,
press the tab key.
bottle of
You
juice.
can move items around your inventory by left-clicking and dragging them around. To drop an item, drag it from your inventory into the 3D view and release the mouse button.
Yeah, since this is cyberspace, I can get health from eating cyberspace junk, but it magically reappears.
To use items like buttons in computers, center them in your view and click the right mouse button. All usable items will have brackets around them. Highlight the button on the pillar and right-click. This will activate the lift. Try that.
Yeah, but does it give me a food pellet?
You can still see your inventory display. It means you're in use mode. Hit tab to reach. The object before you is a med hypo. Pick it up and then press tab to go into use mode. Right-clicking on the med hypo will use it and restore some needed hit points. Your hit points are displayed by a bar in the lower left corner of your screen. Many objects in your inventory. See the crate in front of you.
We're going to kind of skip ahead a little bit.
Center it on your screen and right-click.
Fermium!
If you are in use mode, simply move the pointer to the crate and right-click. To take an item from that container...
So this is actually now very similar...
Soldier is your PDA.
Yeah, PDA. So this is very similar to how the mod, how System Shock 1 was modded. I'm talking over him, but he's just an idiot. How System Shock 1 was modded with the use and unused, so that's what this really is.
Are empty. Now pick up the audio log in front of you.
And then we can to listen.
This message is coming from the audio log you just picked up.
Wow,
You
really?
can use your PDA at any time to play any audio log or email you've received. In the field, the PDA is also used for keeping track of your current mission objectives and obtaining help information.
It's like science, but real life.
Now it's time to
Okay.
learn about jumping and to climb a ladder.
And we'll use ladders.
Walk into
We already
it
know how to
and
do
look
all this.
upward. You'll automatically
This is
start
standard
climbing the
FPS
ladder.
trope stuff. And we're just going to jump out.
You've done well. Remember, if you're unclear on any aspect of what you've just learned, you can repeat the training as often as you wish.
Okay. And then we have advanced training. So yeah, this is standard FPS trope stuff. Unfortunately, System Shock 2 did fall into the
If you've
category of
completed
let's just
basic
become a
training,
shooter.
You're ready for the advanced lessons provided here.
And they made some really bad
Advanced training
choices.
will familiarize-
All right, wannabe. If you want to learn the weapon skills it takes to even think about joining the Marines, come on in. We're
Okay.
looking for a few. Good to have you on board. You'll notice when you're in the CyberLink booth, the UNN has kindly provided you with a virtual cyber interface and all the simulated skill levels you'll need for the training tasks. But don't get too cocky. They'll disappear once you leave the booth.
So yeah, I have energy and standard weapons and whatnot, which
Now
means I
I'll
can
teach you
use
how
the
to handle
weapons.
a firearm. Pick up the pistol and the clip from the table. You can equip the weapon in one of two ways. Bring up your inventory and drag the pistol to your weapons equip slot near the right-hand side of your inventory. If that's too slow for you, you can use the hotkeys on the keyboard. Some items need to be charged with energy before they can be used. Pick up the laser pistol. Now use the recharging station nearby.
I recognize
The recharging
this.
station will juice up all of your energy-based items. Weapons, batteries, you name it.
So yeah, this is the equivalent of our laser ion weapon from the first game. Downside is, and I'll tell you this in a minute, and this is something they don't tell you, so you can do like overcharge. So you will fire a powerful but energy inefficient blast and have to wait a long period between shots. So like when he recharges, you do this. Boom. Beep. Beep.
Weapons are not fine wines. They do not get better with age. The colored dot on the lower right corner of the screen tells you what kind of shape your firearm is in. Green is good, red is bad. To fight the effects of wear and tear, a soldier with maintenance skill can use a maintenance tool to improve the condition of his weapon.
Worst
Just pick up
decision
the tool,
ever to
open
make
your
in a game.
inventory, and drag the tool onto your pistol. Remember that maintenance tools are only good for a single use.
I was hoping double clicking would equip it, but it doesn't. Yeah, worst decision ever. This number down here in the corner, this 5, indicates the weapon, whether or not the weapon works. It's terrible. It is terrible. Your gun will break at the worst possible time, every time, all the time, and they never last. No matter how good any of your skills are, they do not last.
Good work. Now you're ready for the Marines. Take a look at the other training
We'll do
area.
tech next.
Inside, we'll teach you the basic... Welcome. You'll notice what the object in front of you is a container of nanites.
Nanites are pretty cool. They're less annoying than the guns breaking. Although I do like how they have a hack thing here. Every interface we've ever designed has a hack button attached to it.
Click on the start button to begin hacking.
I never pay attention to any of these numbers here that say like hack skills, cyber stat, stuff like that. I just start hacking and then pray.
You must connect 3 bright nodes
Done.
in a straight line. Beware the ice nodes with the red outline. You can use nanites to buy items from replicators. To use a replicator, right-click on it. Then left-click on the item you wish to purchase.
Yeah, as you can see, the value rep item, or the value rep, is not textured like it should be. I don't know if this is for only the cyberspace one or for all of them, but they were supposed to be textured better. So I don't know if this is a texture issue because of the upgraded graphics or not, but hopefully the one on ship will be textured better. Yeah, I think this is something that maybe like you stick on there, but I think it's hilarious that you can just like, you know, everything we have ever made comes with a hack button.
Choosing value rep.
Thank you, value rep. I don't know why I do that. I just like doing that. It seems fun to me. And we'll just heal up. So yeah, this is training. It's not very great.
You learn the basics of the technical skills. There are several other technical skills you'll learn throughout the course of your career.
And then of course we have size skills.
Inside, you will learn. We've provided you with
Psi is sort of like a cross between power
how many psi points you have.
and
Psi points symbolize the current ability to use
not.
this psi amp amplifies your psi powers and lets you project
So like this.
them into the real world. To equip it, pick it up, and then hit the tilde key. Firing the psi amp activates your currently selected psi discipline. You currently have access to 2 disciplines: cryokinesis and kinetic redirection. Go into use mode and click on the arrows on the bottom right of the screen.
We're just gonna skip through this because I already know it, and really it's like every other tutorial. But these are your 3 skill sets: weapons, which break down; technical, which is great for making your life easier; and then psi, which is decent, but it's like magic, but crappier. So this is what I never really liked. In the first game, you could basically do anything you wanted. You could hack stuff by going into cyberspace. You could shoot all the guns you found because guns are designed to have triggers, and everyone knows you point the barrel end at enemies. And then the psi thing, I don't even know what psi was for. I don't know why they brought it into the game. They did. I have never used it. I've tried playing as a psi. It sucks.
Here's where you make your choice, soldier.
So we
Here's
have
where you
Navy,
enlist in one of the
OSA,
3 branches of the military.
and Marines.
Once you decide on your branch of service, there's no going back. The
Yeah.
shuttle will take you to a UNN orbital space station, where you'll receive a briefing regarding your yearly postings. Good luck.
Yeah, so we're going to go through training. Training's decent because you can customize these as you go in. And we'll do that. We'll just go through the entire tutorial section through this video, so it's going to be a little bit long, but it may seem like I'm rushing through this, but honestly, the tutorial is, have you ever played a first-person shooter before? No? Here's how you do it. The cyberspace interface is really the only, like, the interface is really the only thing that's RPG-ish about this one, and it's dumbed down. It's just basically an inventory at this point. OSA is your psi ability. Never liked it. You can fire ice, which you saw, a cryostasis, which doesn't really work. It doesn't cryostase anything, doesn't slow anybody down, it's just cold. You can fire fireballs, which of course makes you a wizard. And then you can do psi, like psi pull and stuff like that. And that's really the only useful one, is psi pull, but you can only pull objects, like off of high shelves. They put like objects on high shelves, you pull them down, you're done. Never really liked it, it's not very useful. Navy's all about hacking, very basic gun skills like a pistol, no heavy weapon skills, and there are some pretty hefty weapons. But the really silly part is, if I remember correctly, Marines are all about the guns, but not so much about the repair. So while a Navy guy can repair the guns, a Marine guy can use the guns. So it's like there's a disconnect between the two. But for making the game fun for me, fun for you, and overall generally okay, because you can customize later. This just gives you a starting point. But we're going to go for Navy, because Navy is one I'm comfortable playing as. So here you go. Here's our first year, because it takes us 3 years, 3 or 4 years, I think. That's why it says 4 years earlier. We get on as a recruit, and they're like, hey, we want to be a recruit with Trioptimum and UNN. Actually, you don't work for Triop. That's right. You work for the UNN. You're one of the escorts. So here's our first year. Here's one of our dudes. So nothing really special. We can look at a couple of diodes and thingamabobs. But really, we just want to go to our mission posting. Year 1. And then from here, we want to go talk to this guy.
Welcome aboard the space station Chesapeake Bay, sailor. It looks like you've picked up some standard weapon skills at basic on Coronado Island.
Yep.
Now it's time for your tour of duty. Your tour will consist of 4 postings over 4 years.
Yeah, there it is.
In this man's Navy, you're given a choice of 3 different postings a year. It's up to you to decide what kind of career you want to have, so choose wisely. Just approach a shuttle bay to receive a briefing on a posting. If you think that posting is right for you, head into that bay to accept the assignment.
Yeah, so this will up one of your skill sets. Each one of these will up one of your skill sets. So out of 9 choices, you get to choose 3. It's not so bad. It's pretty interesting. Each group, each thing has its own. So you can take a look in here and you see all these people. So it's nice background stuff. And is this the right one? Nope. There's kind of a secret on one of these, and I'll show it to you when I can find it again. So okay, shuttles. Here we go. So we have Lucille, military police, engineer's mate, and ship's ops. So what this is that's ops, Navy, and Marine. So basically that's what you're doing. You're saying, I want to be in the Navy, but I can go ops direction, engineer direction, or Marine direction. So if you look at the Marine,
the UNN Lucille is looking for volunteers.
It says
for
up there,
military police detachment. Those sailors can get pretty rowdy
small.
on these year-long cruises.
Gain 1 modify and 1 strength. Okay, so there's 1 modify, 1 strength, and if we walk sideways, we get
the UNN Lucille
1 repair and 1 strength.
To help maintain the ship's core energy systems. There's some heavy lifting involved, sailor, but you'll learn your way around the high-tech equipment.
And then the last one will be 1 hack and 1 strength.
Lucille is looking for an ops training officer to learn the ship's navigation and data control systems. You'll get your feet wet with the high-tech systems, but also expect some heavy lifting.
Okay, so modify is like modifying guns. Like you can actually hack open guns and modify them and make them better. Not by much. Repair is, of course, repairing guns, repairing things like that. And then hack is, of course, hacking things. And so we're just going to go hack because I like hacking things, hacking doors and whatnot. So we'll just go through here and do that. Okay, we'll shuttle out. Whee! Old school graphics, but not bad. Okay, so February 13th, 2112. Actually, it's pretty close to that date now. Your tour of duty aboard the UNN Lucille has concluded. You've spent a productive year. Captain Mayer was pleased with your work, especially with the initiative you showed in physical training. A friendly instance showed you some back doors into the ship's primary data loop and spent your time off pumping good old-fashioned iron. You've gained 1 hack, 1 strength. So we get thrown, I guess, out, and we actually start here, which is nice, rather than in the other place. Still not the right one. We'll keep going. Okay, so we have Ordnance Master, Training, Tactical Training School, and Navigator's Mate. So we go like this.
Laverne, Florida hosts
2 standard
the Navy's premier
weapons.
tactical training school. While maybe not as respected as the Marines facility at Fort Bush, there's a lot to be learned here.
Alright, and then from there we're going to go this way,
The UNN
and
Pierce is ferrying liberated political
1
prisoners
maintenance.
back home from their detention near Saturn. The Pierce has been assigned a detachment of Marines and needs sailors to load, administer, and maintain the arms on board the ship.
Yeah, maintenance is the skill that keeps your guns from breaking down. Wasted skill. Pointless skill. Doesn't really work.
The UNN Carfax is undertaking a mission to examine a newly discovered Class B comet approaching the outer solar system. You'll likely pick up some useful skills working with the high-tech navigation systems aboard this newly commissioned heavy cruiser.
Okay, cyber affinity, that is of course for ops. So we're going to go over here, we're going to go 2 standard
Florida
weapons.
hosts the Navy's premier tactical
And that's
training
just going to
school.
make our guns slightly
While maybe not
better.
as
I mean, I'm not really worried about keeping them in shape because there's really no reason to. So February 11th, 2113, your tour of duty at the Laverne Tactical Training School is concluded. A year of firing ranges, mock boarding parties, and war games has done you good. You spent plenty of time with military-grade pistols, assault rifles, and even auto shotguns. You've gained 2 standard weapons. So yeah, these are the things you can use with standard weapons. There's heavy weapons and odd weapons, but or exotic weapons, but those aren't really that important. Now check out this robot. Now, if any of you can say what dance he's doing, kudos. I know, because I bought the game the day it was released. Some of you may not be aware, but yeah, there's one of the few Easter eggs in the game is you get the robot who does that dance, and I'm not going to give it away. If you don't know it, ask somebody, look it up. Okay, so here's our 3rd year. So 0G training, survival, Iowa Survival Training School, and Marie Curie Research Facility. So let's just start from the right. We get
The Navy
2
strongly
agility.
encourages every sailor to undertake some amount of zero-G training. A year at the Yamamoto space station in Earth's orbit will more than suffice.
Oh yeah. 2
The
endurance.
Navy maintains a survival training school on the surface of Io, the 3rd moon of Jupiter. Pros, there's no better way to improve stamina and survival skills. Cons, the 21.2% mortality rate.
Yikes. And
The
then
Navy's
one
Marie
plus
Curie
1
research
research.
facility on Aquinas 4 is currently conducting research on a new strain of spaceborne virus that killed 220,000 citizens of New Atlanta. To lift the quarantine, we must determine how the virus pierced the city's micronanite shielding.
Believe it or not, as much as endurance and agility will help, research is really expensive to upgrade when you're actually in game, and you need it to make it easier to kill your enemies.
The Navy's
So
Marie
we're going to go
Curie
and actually do
facility
research, so
on
it's
Aquinas
cheaper for
4
us in the
is
long
currently
run,
conducting
even though we get less points. And I think that's why they give you only 1 point compared to 2 of the other 2. Strength, I don't think strength allows you to carry more, as that's based on how much inventory space you have. Or no, it does, that's right, because you have a max inventory and your strength actually lowers that. So February 9th, 2114, your tour of duty at the Marie Curie Research Facility is concluded. Congratulations on surviving the disaster, sailor. When the saboteurs removed the safety seals and released the virus into the atmospheric control regulators, you were one of the few to reach safety in time. However, you were able to pick up a few odds and ends of research techniques before the crap hit the fan. And I gained 1 research. And here we go. From Captain William Bedford Diego. UNN Rickenbacker to Soldier. There's my serial number. Yay, I get to join the Rickenbacker. Get ready to become part of history, Soldier. William Bedford Diego. So yeah, I get to become part of history.
Shuttle A-138, you have clearance for landing on the Von Braun in Shuttle Bay 2. Welcome aboard, soldier.
5 months later, UNN Von Braun near Tau Ceti 5, 67 trillion miles from Earth. Now remember, this is 42 years after the original game. That's important. Those numbers are kind of important. Wormy things. Gooey.
Reinitializing memory streams. Restoring patient memory. Restoring memory. Restoring memory.
Oops. Looks like somebody's alive. I have amnesia.
Steady yourself, soldier. This is Dr. Janice Polito of the computer ops staff of the Von Braun.
Okay.
You're safe for the time being. You're recovering from the effects of surgery and will be unable to remember any of the events of the last few weeks.
That's not why.
You're on board the starship Von Braun and something's gone very, very wrong. Some kind of force has hijacked this ship. That's why you volunteered to be implanted with some experimental cybernetic implants. Rely on your cyber interface. It just might save your life. You must find an elevator and come up to Deck 4 to meet me. Deck 4. Can you remember that?
No.
But keep your eyes open. They're after us both now.
Alright. So there we are. There's our big intro. And our loading screen. Alright, so we are.
Watch out. I'm getting strange readings from that radar dish outside the window. It's become unstable due to... Move! Take cover!
Oops.
Critical decompression hazard in the cryo recovery suite. Evacuate immediately.
Okay, well we will evacuate immediately in just a few moments, so we're going to go ahead and quick save. And I'm going to pause here. It's been actually really long. I may have to split this into 2 videos. So for now, I would like to thank you all for joining me, 4KB Short, on this Let's Play of System Shock 2. And I will see you next video.